You settle in, letting the quiet of the night wrap around you like a tired blanket, and the stars above your mind flicker to life. Let me take you somewhere far away now, somewhere calm, distant, and just a little bit strange. Tonight's story drifts through the void between galaxies, where a single decision, made in under 10 minutes, rewrote the fate of one frightened traveler, and soon enough, yours. If you enjoy these slow cosmic journeys, this channel's quiet corner of the universe, then don't forget to follow along, because new tailies like this arrive almost every night. Now breathe, ease your shoulders, and let's begin. You stand in the processing chamber of the Interstellar Refugee Tribunal. It is enormous, circular, wrapped in shimmering glass and pale blue light. Thousands of request holograms drift through the air like sad little ghosts, each one representing a life begging for shelter somewhere in the galaxy. But you're not here for them. You're here for her. A young being stands in the center of the atrium, small, fragile, wearing a cloak torn at the edges. Thin silver lines of exhaustion streak her violet cheeks. The tribunal has already stamped her file with one word, glowing in harsh red symbols. Rejected. Rejected by the Cathari Empire. Rejected by the Crystalline Thruing Collective. Rejected by the Ulathan Council, who claimed her species was difficult. Rejected by 200 separate civilizations, each one quietly turning its face away. Her name is Sarai. She lifts her eyes toward the floating list of denials. There is a stiffness to her breathing, a practiced calm, a well-worn response to disappointment. You've seen that look before. But this time, she has one option left. One final destination. A small blue planet at the edge of a spiral arm. Mostly ignored, not because it's weak, but because it's too unpredictable, too emotional, too messy. Humanity. Sarai doesn't know this world, not yet. All she's heard are rumors. That humans welcome strays the way some species collect art. That they fight too hard, love too loudly, and forgive too quickly. And that they're dangerous. Very dangerous. But for her, danger is better than extinction. She steps toward the final console. Her hands tremble. A soft chime hums as she selects the option labeled in translated. Galactic Basic. Submit Asylum Request, Human Federation. The moment she presses her hand into the scanner, the room darkens. A spotlight blooms above her. A hologram flares to life. Your breath catches. Because the system does something extraordinary. Instead of generating a lengthy multi-species adjudication panel like usual, it connects directly to one planetary hub. One single office. A small emblem appears, blue and white, simple and familiar. United Peoples of Earth, Refuge and Resettlement Bureau. Sarai whispers, "Is that it?" She expected stern judges, dozens of protocols, perhaps more denials. Humanity instead gives her a loading bar. A loading bar. Processing request. 1%. You quietly move closer to watch. The tribunal staff, towering insectoids, multi-eyed reptilians, diplomatically cold synthetics, all turn with either curiosity or disapproval. Because no other species processes asylum requests like this. The Draxel require blood scans. The Varelian states require 9 psychological evaluations. The Korthos Prime require sponsorships, planetary bonds, and political endorsements. Humans require processing request. 4%. That's it. Just processing. A murmur ripples across the chamber. Some laugh. Others sneer. Primitive species, someone mutters behind you. No structure whatsoever. Another voice clicks sharply. They admit anyone. They'll take in criminals, defectors, anomalies. Anything sad enough. Or brave enough, you reply quietly. The voices fall silent at your tone. Because they've all heard of you, the human representative assigned to observe alien asylum procedures. You stand with your hands folded behind your back, expression steady, but your pulse whispering beneath the surface. Sarai glances at you for the first time. Her eyes soften with a faint, exhausted hope. Do your people? She begins, voice trembling slightly. Truly decide so fast? You don't answer immediately. You remember the long history of your species, how humans once crossed oceans in fragile ships, how they built cities on the ruins of forgotten continents, how they welcomed strangers into homes barely larger than closets. Humans understand desperation, sometimes too well. So you simply say, "We don't like to keep frightened people waiting." Her breath flutters. For the first time since she arrived, her shoulders drop away from her ears. Processing request. 23%. A crowd gathers now, species from across the tribunal creeping closer, pretending not to stare, but staring all the same. They're watching the anomaly. The humans. You focus again on Sarai. Her aura flickers faintly. Her species displays emotions in luminous pulses. Soft purple oscillations ripple across her skin. Hope, fear, anticipation, all swirling. Her hands knot together. I've been turned away by so many. I don't know what I did wrong. You shake your head. Sometimes the wrongness isn't with you. She studies your face, searching for deception, but finds only a tired sincerity humans often wear like clothing. Processing request, 41%. The more the bar climbs, the faster her breathing becomes. Not fear this time, disbelief. That quickly? She whispers. Your people don't even know who I am. They haven't heard my story, haven't tested my compatibility with your climate, your customs, your hand lifts gently, stopping her. They don't need all that, you say. They only need to know you asked for help. A faint blue light drifts across the hologram. The progress bar accelerates. Processing request, 73%. Gasps erupt around the chamber. Several alien delegates argue in hissing clicks. This is irresponsible. Humans cannot have such lax security protocols. They will invite chaos into their systems. But others, the quiet ones, watch Sarai with something softer. Envy, maybe. Maybe longing. Because deep down, some species secretly wish they could be so brave, so open-hearted. Sarai's eyes shimmer. What if they reject me too? What if the bar reaches the end and they say no? You exhale slowly. You're here. You survived. That's enough for my people. Then it happens. The bar reaches 100%. A soft tone rings in the chamber. Simple, almost unremarkable. Then, in bright, warm letters, the hologram displays humanity's decision. Asylum approved. Welcome home, Sarai. Total processing time, 8 minutes, 14 seconds. The other species fall silent. Absolutely silent. It's as if the entire chamber stops breathing. Sarai's cloak slips from her shoulders as her hands rise to her mouth, trembling. Her heartbeat is visible, bioluminescent pulses thudding rapidly along her throat. She whispers, "Approved?" Her knees almost give out. You step forward, offering a steadying arm. She clings to it, faint, weightless, disbelieving. Humans watching across the galaxy, from busy orbital stations and dusty Martian domes, from floating farms in the Jovian skies, all receive the same notification. New refugee arrival confirmed. Status: protected. Species: unknown. Name: Sarai. Assigned guardian: human diplomatic scout. You. The responsibility settles onto your shoulders like a warm but heavy coat. But it feels right. Sarai looks up at you, voice breaking. They approved me. You nod. Of course we did. A soft sob escapes her, not of sorrow, but a sudden release. A dam collapsing. A life beginning again. And as her tears fall, glowing softly, the tribunal's delegates watch something they can barely comprehend. A species that does not hesitate. A species that is reckless in its kindness. A species that sees a stranger tremble and decides, she's one of ours now. Sarai grips your sleeve. I don't know your customs. I don't know how to repay this. You shake your head gently. You don't owe us anything. Just live. That's all. She nods softly, still overwhelmed. The tribunal announces the completion of her case, but no one leaves. Aliens whisper furiously, some shocked, others angry, a few deeply moved. Because the galaxy just witnessed something rare, something powerful, something very human. As the chamber lights dim and the platform opens to escort new arrivals, you guide Sarai toward the exit. She moves slowly, still absorbing the magnitude of her new reality. At the doorway, she pauses. Her voice is quiet, but steady now. What kind of world is Earth? What kind of people approve me so quickly? You think about the chaotic markets, the laughter that spills out of crowded streets, the old grandmothers who feed strangers like long-lost relatives, the children who wave at every ship passing overhead, the fire of stubborn hope that seems to burn in every human heart. So you answer simply, messy ones, loud ones, imperfect ones, but they'll fight the universe for you, if you give them the chance. Sarai closes her eyes, letting the words settle. Then she whispers, I want to believe that. You smile faintly. You will. Outside, a shuttle waits to take her to the human consulate, her first step toward a world she's never seen. The tribunal doors slide shut behind you. But something stirs in the air, a shift, a tension, because the galaxy is noticed. And they do not like it when humans make unpredictable moves. As you escort Sarai into the shuttle, a distant shadow moves across the skylanes, slow, deliberate, watching. But that is a worry for another night. For now, Sarai is safe. For now, humanity has made a promise. And once humans make a promise, the stars themselves sometimes tremble. Let's return quietly to where we left you. Your ship trembling as three impossible pursuers closed in, their veil erasing starlight as casually as wind wiping sand. And in the center of it all, a trembling girl from a myth no one wanted to believe. The sound of nothing, it begins with a silence so absolute you feel it in your bones. The veil expands toward you, a darkness without texture, without depth, without reflection, not shadow. Not absence, something more final. Moloch grips the console edge like it's the last solid thing left in the universe. Captain, if that field touches us, I know. He doesn't finish the sentence because he can't. The crew isn't trained for this. No one is. No species has protocols for erasure. You stand in the center of the bridge, staring at the impossible readings flickering across your displays. The veil does not bend, does not radiate, does not emit, it only arrives. And behind you, Leary whispers, they don't want to destroy you. They want to unmake you. Your stomach tightens not in fear, but in the kind of cold clarity that precedes a decision you can't undo. A child of oblivion. Leary sits curled in the corner of the bridge, not from weakness, but from instinct. Even exhausted, malnourished, and shaking, her presence feels wrong, not evil. Just wrong in the way that a broken law of physics feels wrong. Her fingers twitch with a faint ripple of shifting colors beneath her skin, as if light itself cannot decide how to touch her. You approach slowly. Leary, tell us what that thing is. Her eyes flick toward the veil through the viewport. The Shadran call it cryolin. Your translators would call it the curtain of returning. Returning what? Everything, she says. Back to nothing. Malik almost laughs. We're dealing with existential philosophy? Now? Leary doesn't blink. No, not philosophy. The Shadran don't kill. They erase. Death is merciful. Erasure is obedience. A chill ripples down your spine. Who do they expect obedience from? Her answer is barely audible. Me. The unwelcome signal the ship's AI interrupts. Captain. Unknown vessel is initiating communication. The bridge falls silent. A communication? From them? You steady your breathing. On screen. The main display flickers static, distortions, bursts of impossible colors, until something stabilizes. A face, or what resembles one. It's not biological, not even fully formed. A shifting geometry that mimics a humanoid silhouette only because it wants to be understood. Its voice is crisp, layered, like multiple versions speaking at once. Return the anomaly. Your crew stiffens. This child, you say evenly, is under human asylum protection. The entity tilts its head fractionally. Asylum, it repeats, tasting the word with contempt. Your species introduces irrelevant terms. Human law is not irrelevant. Your law is not acknowledged. Your species is not acknowledged. Your existence is incidental. Malik mutters, friendly. The entity continues. Release the anomaly, and your vessel will be unmade painlessly. You step forward. And if we refuse? For a moment, the shifting face seems confused. Refusal is not a concept it expected. Then, you misunderstand. There is no refusing. There is only inevitability. Leary rises to her feet, trembling but defiant. No, she says softly. There is only fear. Yours. The entity flickers violently, like static reacting to a frequency it cannot tolerate. Then the signal cuts. The veil accelerates. The preparation your crew snaps into motion. Power to engines. Reinforce hull. Cut anything non-essential. Do we have weapons? No, we don't. It's a survey ship. Why do we never have weapons when we need them? You grip the command rail. AI. Estimate time until veil contact. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Time until unknown vessels reach interception distance. 2 minutes, 22 seconds. You curse under your breath. You're cornered by mathematics. Leary stumbles, catching herself on a console. You kneel beside her. What happens if they catch you? She shakes her head. I don't know. No Shadran has ever escaped. No one has ever tried. Why are they hunting you? Her voice is brittle. I was born wrong. Wrong how? She hesitates, then lifts her sleeve. Underneath isn't skin. Or rather, it is, but shifting like an image cycling between possibilities. Colors that don't exist. Patterns that don't obey symmetry. Light bending around scars that don't match her small frame. I remember a thing I should not, she whispers. I remember before the Shadran chose what we must be. Your heart pounds slowly. What did you remember? Her voice trembles with a truth too heavy for her size. A universe where the Shadran were not monsters. Where we lived. The pull of the veil, the ship lurches violently. Alarms flare. Moloch shouts. The veil's gravitational shear is hitting the outer hull. Panels spark. The lights flicker. The ship groans like it's being dragged by invisible chains. Your AI's voice strains for the first time you've ever heard. Captain, structural integrity dropping 40%. You grab Lyri's hand to steady her. Is there any way to stop it? She shakes her head. They don't stop. The veil will take us first. Then the space we occupied. Then the memory of us. What about? She interrupts, gripping your uniform with surprising strength. You should have left me. Humans were never supposed to interfere. You look her straight in the eyes. We don't abandon people who ask for help. Her expression shatters. Like hope is a blade too sharp to hold. The human response, the ship eye suddenly speaks again, urgent. Incoming transmission from Sol Command. Your breath catches. Patch it through. A new hologram snaps into view. Admiral Reyes, stern, silver-haired, unshakably calm. Captain, she says, we received your last packet. You saw the veil? We did, and we analyzed it. You wait, breath tight. And? Reyes inhales slowly. In her eyes, something both terrifying and awe-inspiring glints. We've never encountered anything like this, but we found something. Found what? A response? A response? Your crew looks at one another, confused. Reyes continues. We don't know if it will work, or if it will make things worse. She looks straight at Lyri. But it's for her. Lyri's voice barely escapes her throat. What response? Reyes answers. We're opening a tier. You freeze. A tier? Into what? A place the veil cannot erase. A place the Shadran cannot perceive? Lyri's eyes widen in shock and horror. No, humans can't open that. You'll destroy yourselves. Reyes shakes her head slowly. Maybe, but humanity has already made its choice. Behind her, you hear alarms and shouting on the Sol Command deck. A deep rumble echoes through the transmission, like something colossal waking under Earth's crust. Reyes raises her hand. Captain, we are giving you one chance. When the tier opens, your ship must enter immediately. How will we know when? The AI cuts you off. Captain, a spatial rupture is forming directly ahead. The tier out the viewport. Reality ripples, like the universe itself is wavering under immense pressure. A slit of blinding white opens, not bright like light, but bright like truth. Your instincts scream. Whatever lies beyond that tier is not space, is not time. It is something older, something vast, something that should not be touched. Lyri collapses to her knees. No, no, no. Humans cannot enter the origin path. It'll consume you. You kneel beside her. If it saves you, we'll risk it. She looks at you with something like heartbreak. You don't understand. The origin path doesn't obey causality. Where it leads changes you. You squeeze her hand. We'll change. The Shadran react. The veil surges forward, suddenly accelerating, as if the Shadran realized they're about to lose her. The three geometric ships distort. Their surfaces ripple like liquid geometry as they redirect all power toward your vessel. Your AI speaks, voice glitching. Incoming beams, unknown composition. Impact in, a blast slams your hull. Lights burst. Panels explode. Your vision goes white. But your engines hold. Barely. The decision. Through the chaos, you hear Lyri scream, not in fear. In protest. You can't do this. You can't change your fate for me. You lift her into your arms with a grunt, ignoring the sparks raining from the ceiling. You're part of our fate now, you whisper. The tier widens. The ship strains. The veil devours the stars behind you. There's no time left to think. No time to strategize. Only time to choose. You shout, "Helm, full thrust forward. Take us into the tier." Your pilot, bleeding from the forehead, pushes the controls with trembling hands. "Yes, Captain." The ship screams as if alive. The tier swallows the bow. The veil lunges from behind. For one heartbeat, you are between realities, caught in a war between erasure and something worse. Leary clutches you tightly. "I'm sorry," she whispers. "I'm so sorry." The tier engulfs your ship. The veil collapses behind you. And everything goes silent. Let's slip quietly into the last chapter. Into the nothing place you fell into, the place even the Shadran were afraid to acknowledge, not because it destroyed them, but because it remembered them. And now it remembers you. The weight of light, your eyes open to brightness, not blinding, not painful, but heavy, like standing under a waterfall made of photons instead of water. Your lungs seize as you inhale a substance that isn't air, but behaves like it wants to be. The floor beneath you is not solid, not fluid, not anything your senses can translate. But your body treats it as safe, like the universe itself built a temporary rule just so you wouldn't fall through. You whisper, "Where are we?" Leary stands beside you, barefoot, trembling, but not out of fear, out of recognition. "This place." She swallows softly. "This is where the Shadran were born." You blink. "Born? As in, physically?" "No," she says. "As in, chosen. The origin path." You look around. The space stretches endlessly, but not an empty void. It's full of shapes that exist only when you don't look at them directly, full of colors that shift like thoughts, full of echoes of things that might have happened. The bridge crew stands in clusters, disoriented but alive. Panels flicker, screens glitch between physics and meaning. Malik rubs his eyes. "Captain, is this hell?" Because if this is hell, it's surprisingly well lit. You shake your head slowly. "No, this is something else." Leary hugs herself tightly, staring upward at nothing. The Shadran call it Erme Thyre, the resting place of first thought. Malik groans. "That sounds like hell." You ignore him. "Why did the Shadran fear us entering this place?" She answers without turning. "Because it listens. And once it listens, it intervenes." You feel a ripple beneath your feet, a soft vibration, almost like a heartbeat. Your crew freezes. You whisper, "Leary, is this place alive?" She finally looks at you, eyes wide and shimmering. "No, it is what existed before alive was a concept. The memory of a species, a sound forms. Not a sound you hear, a sound you remember hearing even though you never have." The light ripples. Shapes form, figures, tall, fluid, graceful, resembling the Shadran, but softer, kinder, incomplete, as though sculpted from potential instead of flesh. They drift toward you. Leary collapses to her knees. "These are them," she whispers. "Before the fear, before the veil, before they erased themselves." Malik crouches beside you. "They're not alive?" "Not anymore," Leary says. "But this place remembers everything. Even them." One of the figures glides closer, stopping inches from your face. It studies you. Not with eyes, with attention, with awareness that feels warm, weightless, ancient. Then a voice enters your mind. Not words, intent. A message that unspools inside your thoughts like silk. Why do you carry the child? You swallow. She asked for help. Do you understand her cost? No. Do you understand yours? You hesitate, then nod. Yes. The light flickers softly, as if amused. A choice you didn't know you made. The ancient figure reaches out. Its hand passes through you like a memory of a breeze. You feel something shift inside you. Not physically. Something else. A boundary loosening. A rule bending. A limit dissolving. Malik yelps. Captain, your eyes. You turn to him. He stumbles back. Your reflection flickers in his visor, your pupils shimmering with faint geometric patterns. Leary gasps. It's already begun. What has? The path marked you. You blink. Marked me for what? To decide. The light changes. The ancient beings fade. The world reshapes as gently as a dream shifting scenes. Now you stand in a vast corridor of floating symbols. Some burn with warmth, some with cold, some with a sensation you can only describe as possibility. Your crew is gone. Only Leary remains at your side. She whispers, "This is the chamber of becoming." The 3 doors. 3 enormous forms manifest ahead, not physical, but solid enough for your mind to accept. Each is a door made of thought. A voice resonates through the chamber. One of 3 outcomes must shape you, human. Choose. You step closer. Leary grabs your sleeve. Don't choose yet. Understand them first. You nod. The first door glows blue, cold, steady, structured. When you look at it, you feel order, clarity, unwavering purpose. Leary whispers, path of preservation. If you choose it, humanity becomes a shield. You will gain the ability to resist the veil. You will stand against the chagrin forever. You swallow. What's the cost? You will never evolve again. Your species becomes static, safe, but trapped. You look to the second door. It burns red, fierce, alive, restless. When you focus on it, your heart races. This is hunger, ambition, creation without restraint. The path of ascension, Leary says softly. Humanity will gain what the Shadowrun lost, the ability to reshape reality with thought. You exhale slowly. And the cost? Your species will abandon its identity. Humanity will become something unrecognizable. You approach the third door. It glows gold, soft, gentle, warm. It feels like sunrise, like forgiveness, like memory. Leary's voice is barely a breath. And this, the path of restoration. What does it do? She closes her eyes. It heals what the Shadowrun broke. Not just in themselves, but in the universe. You stare at the gold light. And the cost? Her voice cracks. You. The burden of being human. You take a slow breath. 3 paths. No guidance, no guarantees, only consequence. Leary suddenly grabs your hands. Her palms are warm and trembling. You don't have to choose the restoration path, she whispers. I know you think it's the selfless one, but you interrupt softly. What happens if I choose it? She looks down. You stop being separate. The path absorbs you. You become part of the origin's memory. Alive, but not as yourself. And humanity? They remain human, unaffected, unchanged, free. You nod gently. And you? A tear falls down her cheek. I survive, without being hunted. Because the veil will lose its purpose. You lift her chin with a fingertip. And if I choose one of the other 2? She looks shattered. Then I live, but billions die. Maybe trillions. Your heart tightens. You don't have to carry this alone. she whispers. You saved me. That was enough. You kneel slightly to meet her eyes. Leary, humans don't save halfway. She sobs softly. Not because she's a child, but because she understands the impossible. The moment you turn toward the doors, your mind centers. Your breathing steadies. You step toward one of them. Leary shakes her head, tears streaming. No, please don't. You place your hand on the golden light. She stumbles forward. No, not that one. Don't give yourself. You smile faintly. Leary, this is what we do. The chamber brightens. Reality trembles. The voice echoes again. Your choice is made. The light swallows you, not violently, not painfully, but gently, like falling asleep in someone's arms. What you become, you dissolve, not your mind, not your memories. Your separation, your loneliness, your fear, all drift away. You feel the universe wrap around you, not as a prison, but as a truth. Your ship, your crew, Leary, the starlands, Earth, all of it pours into you like stories whispered by children. You do not vanish. You expand. You become a bridge between what was broken and what can heal. A quiet voice brushes your awareness. Leary's voice. Thank you for choosing us over you. You answer without a mouth. Take care of them. She cries softly. I will. The golden light pulses. The veil shudders, collapses, dissolves, not destroyed, but released. Freed from the very fear that created it. Across the distant quadrant, the Shadran ships falter their geometry, unraveling gently, peacefully. They remember. They breathe. They live again. After you, your crew awakens in their ship, no longer inside the path, floating above Earth orbit. Alarms silent. Systems stable. Malik checks readings and whispers. Captain, something's missing. And Leary answers, voice trembling. He isn't missing. He's everywhere. She steps toward the viewport. The stars shimmer faintly. A warmth behind them, as if the universe now has a heartbeat. Malik murmurs, So, what do we tell Command? Leary closes her eyes and whispers, Tell them he chose the third path. The path only humans could choose. She touches a hand to the glass. And tell them, he's still watching. The last light somewhere beyond perception, beyond the veil, beyond even how time remembers itself. You drift, not lost, not dead, not erased, becoming. And every time a frightened voice anywhere in the galaxy whispers for help, a soft pulse of golden warmth moves through the dark in answer. Because that is the shape you chose to become. The shape called human.